The night the boxing world had been whispering about for years finally arrived when Naoya Inoue stepped into the ring to face fellow Japanese phenom Junto Nakatani.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the four-division world champion, boxing's pride of Japan, the current, hard-hitting, undefeated, reigning and defending, undisputed, super bantamweight champion of the world, introducing Naoya Monster Inoue!
A clash not just of champions, but of identities, legacies, and unstoppable title defense, or a routine super fight. This was a moment where history demanded an answer. Who truly stands at the summit of Japan's golden era of boxing? The arena pulsed with electricity.
And again, look, he wasn't the rest of his offense. He's a prolific jabber, and that sets up the right-left combination for the monster.
A sea of anticipation as fans understood they were about to witness something rare. Two undefeated mentalities colliding under the brightest lights.
Here to go in round 5. Will Junto Nakatani be able to finish?
Body shot.
Inoue, already crowned the Monster, entered with an aura that had shattered divisions and crushed champions. His rise through multiple weight classes had been nothing short of terrifying. Precision, power, and a killer instinct that made even elite fighters hesitate.
I'm looking to time and sweep that left hook again. As Inoue probes with the jab, goes to the body, showing levels now. And Cardenas comes forward, inching ahead.
Across from him stood Nakatani, a fighter many believed was the future. Where Inoue brought explosive destruction, Nakatani brought surgical dominance. And for the first time, fans questioned whether the monster had finally met something he couldn't simply overpower.
Will he make it out of round 5? Junto Nakatani teeing up with the jab. Shooting the left hand once again, firing back his Cortez, and he will.
As the opening bell rang, the tension snapped. Inoue wasted no time, pressing forward with that familiar stalking rhythm, testing distance with sharp jabs and feints that had broken so many before. But Nakatani didn't retreat. He stood his ground, using his reach advantage to disrupt Inoue's timing.
Almost like someone who's been doing this since they were 14 years old in high school.
A little dip in the knees from Yamauchi a moment ago, and now he is in big-time trouble. Nakatani poured.
It was immediately clear. This was different.
Maloney here.
It's the upper test. Right and left
Hook comes
uppercuts.
in. Left uppercut again. Right uppercut again.
Nakatani went away from the upper and then came back to it after the body shot.
Another right hand to the body. Showing all the offense here in round number 2. The undefeated recent world champion who moved up in weight, looking to claim another division.
Inoue wasn't facing a man intimidated by his reputation. He was facing someone who had studied it, absorbed it, and came prepared to challenge it. The early rounds unfolded like a high-speed chess match.
Under that wild shot, does not throw a counter shot though, and he's got it back into the corner. Now he unleashes his offensive attack.
Inoue probed for openings, ripping to the body with brutal intent, each shot echoing like a warning. But Nakatani responded with composure, countering with precision, his left hand finding its mark more often than anyone expected. The crowd roared with every exchange, realizing they weren't watching domination, they were watching resistance. Real resistance. And with every passing round, the question grew louder. Could Nakatani be the one to push Inoue beyond his limits? By the middle rounds, the fight transformed into something deeper, something more primal. Inoue began to increase the pressure,
A little bit shaky here, minute and a half into the first round, and McDonald retreats to the ropes immediately. Inoue looking to tee off with that right hand, left hand, and McDonald sags into the ropes again, and Luis Pabon, the referee, has jumped in and waved this off.
Cutting off the ring with ruthless efficiency, forcing exchanges that tested Nakatani's durability. But Nakatani refused to break. He absorbed, adjusted, and fired back with combinations that stunned even the most seasoned analysts. A sharp counter snapped Inoue's head back, sending a ripple through the crowd. For the first time in a long time, Inoue looked human. What made this battle extraordinary wasn't just the skill, it was the will. Inoue, driven by legacy, pushed forward with relentless aggression, digging deeper into his arsenal. Nakatani, fueled by the belief that this was his moment, matched him shot for shot, refusing to be overwhelmed. Every round felt like it could tilt the entire fight. Every exchange carried consequences. This wasn't a mismatch. This was a war of equals. As the championship rounds approached, fatigue began to whisper into the muscles of both fighters, but neither man listened. Inoue's punches still carried danger, but Nakatani's defense had evolved, slipping and countering with growing confidence. The momentum swung like a pendulum. One moment Inoue seemed on the verge of breaking through, the next, Nakatani answered with a sequence that stole the round. The crowd, once divided, now stood united in awe, witnessing a fight that transcended expectations. Then came the defining moment. Inoue, sensing urgency, unleashed a ferocious combination, digging to the body before launching a right hand upstairs. It landed clean, one of his signature shots, the kind that had ended fights. Nakatani staggered, but he didn't fall. Instead, he fired back, a defiant counter that stopped Inoue in his tracks. It was a statement, a refusal to surrender. And in that instant, the narrative shifted once more. The final rounds were pure heart, no strategy left untouched, no energy left conserved. Inoue pressed forward like a man determined to prove why he was considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Nakatani stood firm, answering every challenge, refusing to let the moment slip away. Blood, sweat, and willpower painted the canvas as both fighters gave everything they had, knowing that history was watching. When the final bell rang, there was no immediate celebration, only exhaustion and respect. Two warriors, bound by the same pursuit, stood across from each other, knowing they had created something unforgettable. The judges' scorecards would decide the official looked on. One thing became undeniable. Whether it was Naoya Inoue continuing his reign or Junto Nakatani announcing a new era, boxing had just witnessed a passing of the torch moment. Or perhaps something even rarer, a collision so intense it refused to let go of either man.